everybody. How are you? Look at that. That's an on-time start time. Again, on a freaking roll. Yeah, they said it would never happen. The live stream of the Eric Zane Show podcast brought to you today by the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Don't worry, Mario. I will get back in touch with you today. I had a super busy day yesterday. Now with 2 offices, expanding the empire. Muskegon, that's the original location. Now they've moved into Grand Rapids. I want you to understand there are many different Van Dyke Mortgage branches, if you will. But I want you to call upon the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. All right? Tooth and Grand Rapids. Not only Lakeshore, but Grand Rapids. 231-332-6505 or get to their website by going to mine, ericzaneshow.com. Click on the beautiful emerald green logo, just like that one behind me, that says Van Dyke Mortgage, NMLS number 3035 for you folks with impeccable credit, like Boring Dean and Kenny. You know, they got like a 1,100 credit score, these guys. They're going to get like the lowest interest possible. It's going to be easy, smooth sailing for those rich bastards. But, you know, for the rest of us who, maybe a few late payments in there, knocking that credit score down, maybe a divorce or bankruptcy, or you're just shitty with money. Just call it what it is. Sometimes that happens. You know, the rest of us, most of us, you're like, oh, God, there's no way I could get a mortgage. You can, okay? Is it going to be a 2% interest rate? No. It's going to be kind of a dumpster fire on the interest rate, but it's a hell of a lot better than paying it to some scumbag slumlord. It's your own home. Pay on that. And then pay on time for, 12, 18 months. Show that you've got some acumen now. And then you get a new loan. You're like, refi it, all right? And then you get a lower interest rate. You're saving even more money. That's how it works, man. It's America. 231-332-6505 for the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Get pre-approved before you look for the home, by the way. Then there's my friends at F45 in Byron Center, Michigan. People are getting in shape at F45 in Byron Center, right in the same place where you go to the old family fair. All right, the family fair is right there, just to the east of that in the same shopping plaza as F45. That's where the magic happens. That's where the workouts take place. That's where the best training happens. F45, Byron Center, Michigan. I want you to try it for free, okay? 1 full week. Go to the letter F, then the number 4, and then the number 5. F45training.com/Byron Center. There you go. Voila. It says start free trial. Click on that thing. Fill out a little bit of information. Boom. You show up. You're ready to go. Zero since the pandemic began, and they can back this up. 0 COVID cases, as confirmed by the health department. 0 contact tracing needed. Okay? This place is awesome. Thank you to F45 in Byron Center, Michigan. This show happens each and every week at about this day, each and every day of the week, I should say. Gosh, I'm struggling. Each and every weekday right here. And the Eric Zane Show podcast for February 26, 2021. It's a Friday from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio begins now.
Hello, this is Rick from TC Paintball. You're listening to The Eric Zane Show, a show where the host makes the audience create intros, complains about them, and then refuses to play the correct ones. And now, because I'm required to, here's Eric Zane.
Thank you, Rick. I appreciate it, buddy. See, wasn't that easy? But you still screwed it up. If you notice, You said, welcome to the Eric Zane Show. That's not correct. Hold on. Listen.
To play the correct with the Eric Zane Show.
There it is.
This is Rick from TC Paintball. You're listening to the Eric Zane Show.
No, that's not correct.
A show where the host makes the audience
How come you're the only one that screws that up?
About them and then refuses.
That is not the name of this, of what they're watching
and
or
now,
listening to.
Because I'm required to, here's Eric Zane.
Well, that part's right, but now you got to go back and do the beginning. Because, hey, welcome to the Eric Zane Show. That is not what this is called. This is called the Eric Zane Show podcast. It's much better when you add the podcast. When it was on the radio, it was the Eric Zane Show. But now this is the Eric Zane Show podcast. Why is that so hard? Do I call it TC Paint? No, I call it TC Paintball because, that's what you named it. Thank you to John for giving me the music there. Really good. Listen to that. John's got skills. Thank you to everybody who contributes to this show. And honestly, I'm just giving Rick a hard time. But the way I do the intros on the show is kind of like how this show is made. Rick is giving me the snark and his voice. Thank you. John, his music. You all give me your attention. Thank you. And then, a number of you are show contributors that give me, hey, Zane, did you see this story? And then they provide a link. So that's cool. I appreciate that. It's excellent, man. That's how we do this. I'm like, oh, yeah, I can talk about this one. Now, truth be told, Dirk is still sending me political ones. He sent me one. He sent me a couple of good ones. And then what did he send me? Oh, he sent me one about Joe Biden. And I'm like, dude, I'm not going to talk about that. It's just, I don't know, man. It's got to be really, really significant for me to get into some political angles. It's just a losing proposition, my friend. It really is. I love you. I love you. Come on, man. Why aren't you political? What you want to talk about Biden? He's inept, man. He's fucking dumb. All right. This is a daily podcast where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. Monday through Friday, you get the show on Facebook, facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page, brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. Thank you. If you could share that thing, give me the like, the thumbs up, or the mad face, whatever the hell it is. Thank you so much. On Twitter, retweet it with a snarky comment. Something really mean. This guy sucks. Whatever. Retweet that thing. Whatever it takes to get a little bit of attention for your old pal Eric Zane. And on Twitter, I already said Twitter, and that's brought to you by Blue Frost IT. Thank you very much to those folks. And then, of course, on the almighty YouTube, Eric Zane Show on YouTube. If you could subscribe to the page and the bell notification and give me the thumbs up on that, thank you very much. That's brought to you by F45 in Byron Center, Michigan, as I indicated on the little sponsor preamble that I like to do. And, of course, this free audio podcast is then uploaded to all of the podcasting platforms upon completion of this live scenario, if you will. Okay, this live podcast, this live video podcast, I guess, the live stream. And then the audio, wherever you download podcasts, so you can listen to just the audio at your leisure, whatever you like. If you want to know where that is, just search Eric Zane Show on any of the podcasting platforms, whichever one you prefer. I prefer Apple Podcasts, but some of you like CastBox, some of you like Spotify. It's on all of them. Or just go to ericzaneshow.com and click where it says free podcast. But whatever you do on the audio, if you could subscribe to it, that helps. Thank you very much. All of this is the way I move the meter. This is all about gathering the info from the things I just talked to you about that help Eric. That gives me something. Word of the day, analytics. I take those analytics, I scoop them up, I put them into one big, nice presentation, and then I spit them out to people who might want to spend a little cash getting the word out about their businesses, marketing on the Eric Zane Show podcast, which is just, I had a conversation with somebody the other day. Who was it? It was Dr. Bitesplint, my dentist. And I was having a conversation with him about the pandemic. And he was talking. I go, so take me through it. How did it go on your end? Were you ever forced to close? I forget the scenario here in the great state of Michigan. He goes, yeah, 2.5 months. We could take 0 patients. I go, and this is a brand new building with brand new equipment because he just recently upgraded. I mean, really nice. And he's like, yeah, those bills kept coming in. But, I moved a few shells around and figured it out. And then that PPP money came in handy to keep my employees. And I go, that's awesome. I go, I went down that road too, but I didn't take advantage of it. He goes, what? I go, well, yeah, I right when the pandemic, I filled out all the information, and then they sent me information back, and they said, congratulations, you qualify. Hit this accept button, and you get $22,000. I've told the story before. And he goes, yeah? I go, well, hang on. Hang on. Oh, God. I go, yeah, I wasn't, and this is a true story. I'm very proud of this. I felt like after 3-4 months, I wasn't really showing any signs of slowing down on what was happening with the podcast. He goes, so what did you do? I go, I declined it. He goes, you declined it? It's free money. I go, yeah, I know. But to me, I know this sounds strange, but I've always kind of, when people go this way, everybody goes to the right. I always go to the left. I always do that. And I didn't think it was, I thought it was a little bit weird where if I'm not having any issue at that time, and truth be told, it's still the same. I still work very hard and it's working. Like, I can't justify doing that. So fuck it. I'm not taking a dime. Have somebody else take it. Well, yeah, but you only pay it back at like such and such low percent, and sometimes they just wipe it out. You don't even have to pay it back. I said, I know. Call me crazy, but I said, fuck it. I do not want that. So yes, for 2 years, almost 2 months from this stupid room above my garage, we've managed to build all of this. And if you look around, you built me the room. And everybody who did that is still in the fold except for Tom, who hates my guts, but that's another story. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thank you very much. And it's because of you populating the podcast and patronizing the sponsors. That's it. That's all we got to do. We can do this to the day I die, and I plan on it. Okay. Apparently, my name came up on Who Are These Podcasts? Fuckface Carl, and whoever's listening to this, make sure you send him the audio or give him the timestamp. Give him the timestamp that I talked about his fucking toothy mouthed ass. Send it along to Carl at WATP. I got word that on his fucking scam Patreon that he was talking about me with that fucking scumbag Chad Zumach, who's an asshole. I would love to fucking fight that guy. Oh, what a piece of shit this guy is. Holy crap. Fucking Carl, somehow my name comes up, and I think it was, from what I'm told, because I can't get up the energy or the dollars to throw his way to hear his stupid Patreon. Was talking about radio, and he said, oh yeah, Eric Zane said he wants to get into radio. Get back into radio. That's a stupid idea. It's like, what, why does that pop into your brain? Well, thank you. I'm flattered because WATP is a great show. And truth be told, I'm just busting your balls. I actually like you very much. I don't like Zumach. He's an asshole. Why do you fucking even talk to this guy? This guy is a fucking dirtbag. What? Do you wake up and say, oh, this shit's going great with the podcast. I think I'm going to fuck it up by talking to this piece of shit for extended time. Fuck Zumach. Why are you wasting your time on this guy? He's terrible, and he's not even fucking funny. He just sits there and just goes, yeah, I hate everybody. I hate this. I hate that. I hate this chick. Who was that chick he was giving a hard time to, that female comedian who's actually awesome? Why do you talk to Zumach? Knock it off. Oh, my God. So Aram or Rollison, send this shit off to Carl so that he can feature it on his stupid show and play it for his miscreant audience. All right. I completely digress. Today, another rapist Michigan gymnastics coach. Wow, this was huge. This guy, the Attorney General of Michigan, Dana Nestle's like, okay, I think we got this guy. And they had been investigating him for some time. And they're like, okay, she announced the indictment. This guy's got to face the music. And then his attorney said, all right, he's going to turn himself in. But this gutless twat coward had other plans. I will talk about this scumbag, John Geddert. I predict a name change for Geddert family members going forward. I think half of the day by Geddert family members will be spent making funeral arrangements. The other half looking into how to change this pariah last name of Geddert. Ugh. I've got two examples of educators acting like idiots on Zoom. One is attacking a disabled kid. It's a young adult. I think it's a college class. The other was pounding his pud. What? And I think the guy who was pounding his pud on the camera for the kids to see is not as bad as the idiot attacking the hard of hearing chick. Excuse me. Lady Gaga's dogs are stolen in a horrific incident where the dog walker was shot and is in critical condition. My God, this thing. Oof. The audio on this is rough. There's controversy over the kid's toy, Mr. Potato Head. Will I stay the course and side with the minority? I am never afraid, especially with this crowd. This is the type of crowd that, is really anti-cancel culture. Really, like the whole Aunt Jemima thing. I was like, well, yeah, you changed the name. And 90% of this audience is just like, oh, you're an asshole. What are you doing, you stupid son of a bitch? Come on. And I'm like, shut up. We'll find out where I stand on this one. All right. But first, it is a fantastic day again. Oh, my God. The sun is burning in. It's awesome. I cannot wait. I got plans today, man. I'll be back hosting the hockey game again. There is no pregame again for the Grand Rapids Griffins game tonight from beautiful, empty Van Andel Arena. We had talked about doing the Facebook Live pregame that I would host on the live stream, the Griffins Facebook page. That is going to happen. We're just waiting on that. Game one, we didn't want to do it because we thought we'd be over our skis quite quickly. Game two, one of the two main producers of the show, who is also our floor director and videographer, Naki, is not going to be there. So we got to fill in on the video aspect of this. So I love the fact that the producers of the show are like, yeah, since we're so damn new to this could get kind of fucky if we don't have the main guy in there. So let's just kick that can down the road. All right, fine. I'm like, whatever. I don't care. You want to do the pregame show? I can do the pregame show. I do this for hours every day. No big deal. They're afraid that like the camera's gonna go on, and I'm gonna pull up a freaking was it Marsha Brady? No, not Marshy. No, it was which one of the Brady kids on the Brady Bunch before the dad died of AIDS was staring into the camera and just like on TV during like the Quiz Bowl. Was that Cindy? I think that was Cindy, the youngest the youngest girl. Because Marsha got hit in the nose with the football, right? And then Cindy, was it Cindy or Peter? I don't remember. Hang on. Okay. They're afraid that the camera might go on, and then I might like get all freaked out and get the yips and kind of stand there and stare at it. No. But anyway, the Griffins game on WXSP in and around Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, Battle Creek. There's a different channel number for each one of those on whatever cable system you have. In West Michigan, I think that's 18, and there's also an HD version of WXSP. We're going to start right at 7 p.m. Puck drops at like 7:10. So we got like, I'll be the first one you see doing the intro. I'll throw it over to Larry and Lou. Excuse me. Damn it. I have a problem today. Kaiser is still convalescing. Talked to him yesterday after the massive open heart surgery. But he says he's getting stronger. He says, when I get on my feet, I got about 10 minutes, and then I'm exhausted, and I got to take a nap. His body's recovering from when they busted open his chest and had to clear out the pipes around his heart. So he continues to convalesce. And then, so we'll do our thing as the Griffins play. You can watch the hockey game. We got it all covered, man. Some good camera angles there. Good group of people running the show. It's not bad. It's good quality in terms of like watching the hockey, and it's your local team. So if you're up for the second best league in the world, and you're a Grand Rapids Griffins, a reason to tune in alone is to see Captain Brian Lashoff do his thing. I don't know what my problem is today. Hang on. Occasionally, I get in the weeds with the phlegmy throat. It's a horrible thing. And I don't think it's getting any better. It's nothing worse than a phlegmy, raspy throat. Oh, God. It reminds me of a radio legend in Grand Rapids, Eris Hampers, who I speak to from time to time. I just reach out, how are you? You know, a lot of respect. A few years older than me, but you got to understand, in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and in Detroit, Michigan, there was two big pockets of radio people that kind of were trailblazers for the rest of the industry, because rock radio began at a time with all of these people. Detroit, it was Ken Calvert, Arthur Penhall, what do you call it? JJ in the Morning Crew, Karen Savelli, Lynn Woodison, Steve Costan, Ann Carlini, who's still around today, Doug Podell, Bob Bauer. I'm probably leaving somebody out. Drew and Mike actually came in the early 90s. I'm talking 70s and 80s. In West Michigan, you had Ed Buchanan, God rest his soul. I hate to say it, but fucking Gates. Kevin Matthews. Eris Hampers. Eris is a really, really sweet soul. Nice guy. And I got to know him hanging out over at the intersection for various shows, seeing him. Nice dude. Another example of radio, just like, hey, we're losing money. Yeah, you've been on the air here for 35 years, but you're done. And so that was that. And then there's been some health issues. Poor Eris can no longer speak and will never utter a word again. And it really is sad because what a sweet, gentle soul and a wonderful mind. And just wanting to just, I cannot imagine that. I feel so bad. And he's just great. So from time to time, I'll drop him a line, say hi. And I said to him, because I think he's got a talkie thing. You put up, I'm like, fuck it, just do that. If I owned a radio station, I would just say, just fucking do it. They know it's you. I don't give a shit if it's talkie voice box voice. It's still Eris. Put the talkie thing on. And how is it that talkie box thing can't have a better voice? Why does it have to be that? Why does it have to be that? Why can't you just have it be a sweet, sultry voice? I think we live in a day and an age where technology is neglecting that, you know? Can you imagine if they could actually tweak it? They could get like some old audio of Eris and match it up and create the voice. That seems doable to me in my brain. Why can't you have a really powerful microprocessor on there? It feels the vibration, and then it produces the butter voice that is Eris. Come on. All right. I am in a freaking mood today. Oh, my God. I feel fantastic. It's been an amazing week. Just so much to get into today. First of all, the Queen of the Forest is kind of like forefront in my brain because yesterday on this show, you heard it. She sent me a text and said, I cannot find those keys that you said are in my car and in her car. And I go, okay, well, I told you what happened, right? Yeah, but still, who was in the car? I go, what do you mean, who's in the car? And she goes, who was in the car with you? I go, a couple drug addicts and me. She goes, huh, who were they? I go, what doesn't matter who they are. It's a couple of drug addicts. They're my friends, and we went to a meeting. What's your problem? Do you know these people? I go, well, we're kind of new friends, but what the fuck? So she doesn't say anything. I go, and I'm thinking to myself, you think one of these guys saw your keys and put them into their pocket, don't you? She didn't say nothing. I mean, I just thought it, so I didn't bring it up. And I could just sense it coming. And she goes, tell me what happened again. I go, well, I was driving over to see these boys, and I heard keys in the vehicle fall from one spot and land on a hard surface. And I heard the keys land, the impact, the jingle jangle, split second of keys hitting each other, landing on a hard surface. That's what I heard. Do you think maybe when your drug addict friends opened the door that the keys fell out? No, we would have noticed it. Huh, she says. Okay. She didn't say drug addict friends, but I'm a drunk. They are too, whatever. No big deal. So on this show, we had that conversation. I actually put her on the phone, and she's all panicked. I'm having great anxiety. I cannot find those keys. Those are important for the school. I go, okay. Do you want me to come see you when I get done with this? Yes. So then she texts me later on. She goes, there's no need to come. You can just, you can just find it when you get back. All right, great. One less thing to do. Take care of a couple other things during the day. Come home. I put a headlamp on my head because I know I'm going to need light. I know it because the car's in the garage, and all these hidden nooks and crannies in the car. And so I start from scratch. And my plan is, because she says she's looked everywhere in this car. And I go, well, you haven't looked everywhere because I'm going to go find the keys right now. And normally she finds stuff for me. Not this time. I'm going to find it. I go through this car. I just start taking everything that is not attached to the actual car out of the car. So there's also, the usual pack of gum, all these receipts, straw paper, coffee cups. It's filthy. Car is it's completely trashed. I'm laying all this stuff out, throwing away the garbage. I'm cleaning the car. Isn't that what they say? If you want to find something, you clean it. Clean whatever it is that you think that it's in, whether it be the house or whatever. Clean the whole damn house. It doesn't matter. I'm cleaning, and I have exhausted everything. I'm thinking to myself, I am now done. And then I think that I'm not going to find these keys. And then I remembered that the actual back seat, not only does it move so that you can get into the third row, the middle set of seats on this Dodge Journey, they actually move so that the person can get in the back row. And then while I'm moving the seats, I had completely forgotten this. The seats, not only do they move from front to back, but the part that your butt sits on flips up. Okay, so it's like so you can push it all the way forward and you have more storage. So, but it's the seats divided, and the little spot, it flipped up, and I went, and I looked underneath where it flipped up on this plastic surface, hard plastic surface, nothing there. I go, I'll bet you when I flip the other half of this seat over, it's got to be right there. Look at that smile on my face. You know full well what happened. Sure enough, flippy. I look, there they are. Pluck, pick them up, snap a picture, send it off to the Queen of the Forest, who's upstairs taking a nap. Look what I found. I get anal. Also, a mystery was solved because a couple of weeks ago, her and No Filter Kevin also known as the NFK, her brother-in-law, or my brother-in-law, her brother, who lives with us, they came back from the grocery store, and I hear, where the fuck is that Black Forest ham at? Where the fucking bullshit, motherfucking shit? Where the fuck? And he's giving the finger to the Meyer bag. Where is it? Where's this? Where's that note? Where's that Black Forest ham at? You know where this is going. He could not find it. He goes, I think that crazy ass bitch motherfucking bagger didn't put the Black Forest ham in there. Motherfucking shit. Fuck. So I'm like, oh, God, man, thank God Madison's not home. So he goes into the TV room to stew and recover with a nice 8-hour session of TV. And that was that. Well, sure enough, while looking for the keys, I found the ham. The whole bag of ham was under the seat. And I go, look what else I found. And I go, should I save this? I mean, she goes, Dad goes, no. I go, well, why not? I mean, it's been in the car and the garage is cold as shit. And she goes, I don't think that's a good idea at all. Because I actually put it in the fridge for the NFK to eat it. Now, that would have been bad because it turns out I opened it up and sniffed it, and it was expired. It smelled horrible. So now, if I had not brought that up and Diana had not brought that up and said, get that out of there, the NFK would have went, what the fuck? How did this get here? Oh, well, and he'd have eaten it. Now, you take the massive quantities of Ham's beer, which creates, 12 hours later, the Ham's beer shit howitzer every morning in my toilet. You take the rotted meat with the Ham's beer, and you've got, oh my God, a new recipe for disaster, a high brown watermark for shit freckles on the underside of that seat. I mean, and that is going to be a mess. My God, thank God we got that out of there. But in hindsight, I kind of wish I could. I want to see how many he can get, how many shit freckles he can actually get on the underside of the seat. I think right now the clubhouse leader is like 6 shit freckles on the underside of the seat. So if we can up that game and get a new record, that would be impressive, All right. So I found the damn keys. So she's all happy. The anxiety. You ever do that? You lose something, you get anxiety, man. I get that all the time. Excuse me, I can relate. And then it's off to get the second vaccine. Now, right now, I can tell there's probably some of you rolling their eyes. Some of my great friends, some of you who are anti-vaxxers, and you are anti-vaxxers. I love you very much, but you have earned that label with your ridiculous, inaccurate, loud voices about the vaccine. As much as I appreciate you, you're 1,000,000% wrong. So off we go. So it's packed. They're moving 5,000 people a day through there now. 5,000. And we walk in, and it is, again, a well-oiled machine. You got the National Guard there actually holding the door. Come on in. Come over here. Come over here. And then this army of nurses, and then the actual rooms where the vaccine, it's just like, what do you call it, curtained off into individual areas with a nurse in each one. It's like 15 of them. And there's people walking through, and when they have an open spot, a little green flag appears, and then there's a person directing traffic. You're next, number 3. You're next, number 6. Okay. And then there's an army of pharmacists on the other side of the curtains who are taking vaccines that have been put into the syringes. You know how they take the needle and put it into the glass thing and sucky, and then they take a cap and put it on there and put it into a tray and give it to the nurse, okay? And it's got a time limit on it. It's a Pfizer vaccine, so it's going to expire. So they got to keep these things cold, and then they meticulously drop them into each of the nurses' stations. And, oh, man, they got it down. Queen of the Forest sits down there. The nurse, you may have noticed in the video, guy had a calculator watch. He actually had a calculator watch on. When's the last time you saw a calculator watch? I didn't even notice it until you all noticed it on the video. Some cock on my Facebook video put the comment, yeah, she's going to have to get another one in 3 months. What's she going to do? What did he write? What's she going to do when she needs another one in 3 months? And I wrote something to the effect of, ask her, and I'll laugh while she kicks your ass. I don't know if I heard back from him. I'll have to check it. Fucking troublemaker. All right. Sit down for the 15 minutes, and then we're gone. Parking validated. Good as gold. There's been some talk about how the second vaccine, you feel a little bit more out of it. You might have the headache. You might have the aches and the pains and stuff like that. Queen of the Forest heard through the grapevine. So who knows if it's right? Who knows if it's wrong? 3 hours before vaccine number 2, Queen of the Forest says to me today, she goes, hey, guess what? I go, what is it? She goes, I feel fine. This is this morning. I go, yeah? Yes, I feel tip-top. It's not a problem. I haven't felt anything. I feel great. I go, yeah, okay, well, that's awesome. She goes, guess what? I got a secret, though. What is it? I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to jinx it. But I don't know, maybe it's placebo. But my friend said to me, who knows a nurse, who hangs out with a doctor, who talked to a physician, who has a nurse friend, who dispenses the vaccine, who knows Dr. Fauci. Okay. And I heard that if you drink a protein shake 3 hours before you get the vaccine, you'll have no side effects. Isn't that something? And I drank a protein shake, one of those ones we got in the pantry, and look at this. It worked perfectly. I go, okay, I guess it's possible. I'll mention it on the podcast. I guess it can't hurt. I mean, if you take a protein shake, I said, you should have said it to me before. I would have given you a protein shake. You wouldn't even have had to drink one of the ones in the fucking pantry. Fucking idiot. You know, my daughter listens to these shows. Hey, look, honey, Jacqueline, I'm talking to you. These jokes, when that's podcast dad, okay? Podcast dad is different than dad. Don't ever bring up any of the dirty jokes that podcast dad says, okay? Podcast dad says those jokes because he's an idiot. And dad does not want to hear about podcast dad. That's an intermingling of the worlds. And it's a place I don't want to be in. I much prefer podcast dad and dad not being in the same room or having to deal with it's just a hot, and plus it's just awkward. So don't even acknowledge that you heard the dirty jokes or the nasty stories. Okay? You need to know that all those years, Jacqueline, when you were a teeny tiny little girl, when I would tell you that I would read the weather and do the sportscast, those were lies. I didn't do any of those things. I would just act like a jackass. I've been doing this for many, many years this way. Okay? And I only have, I'm 50 now. I don't know. I just got to make it through another 12 to 14 years of this. And then I don't have to worry about this anymore. No more awkwardness. All right. So the Queen of the Forest is vaccinated. And that is that. Unbelievable. Hard to believe. 1 year has passed nearly since all of that. I cannot imagine I remember back when at about this time 1 year ago, that would be roughly February 26, 2020. We were still in that, oh boy, I wonder if it's going to make it to this state. Oh man, it did. Oh man, well, I hope that they nip it in the bud. I hope no one dies. Oh man, somebody died. Oh, it's probably just going to be one or two. Or then the school is canceled. Well, they'll probably be out for a week while they clean the school and get rid of it. And then we'll be back. Oh my God. Lo and behold, here we stand. But I think it's starting to turn around. I'm hoping and praying. I mean, I don't know nothing about nothing. But hopefully we'll continue to make some strides and less people will die. Okay, that is the intro. 40 minutes in length for the Eric Zane Show podcast. Thank you for being part of it. First of all, it's just a reminder. I like to throw it out there. I think there's a day coming up called Employee Appreciation Day. You know who lets me know? Cameo lets me know this. They say, hey, tell your fans that Employee Appreciation Day is coming. And let's see, where's the notification from these jackasses? I don't see it. It's Employee Appreciation Day coming up. Tell your audience to do something fun for their employees. Hire you on Cameo. Hey, this is Vince Meal, and you're rocking. Have a rocking New Year, and try not to be as fat as me. Thanks a lot. Happy Crew Year, and Merry Motley Christmas. Hire me for $15.99. Cameo.com/Eric Zane on your desktop or your laptop, or download the Cameo app on your mobile device. If you're into giving tips for things like this, and I think once you see what I can do, you'll be like, hey, he deserves $1. You can only do that on the desktop or the laptop. Otherwise, whatever. Thank you so much. And I can do anything. I can roast your friends. I can be a nice guy. I can be a mean guy. I can, whatever you want me to do, give me the direction that I need. If you have further information that you want to pass along to me about your Cameo, send it via email, eric@ericzaneshow.com. Okay. Joe Martinez still working hard to install the Remy Halo device that cleans the air in your home. Like Kenny busted my balls about it. He was, hey, man, I love it when he calls it an air scrubber. I don't believe any of that. Well, first of all, you big dum-dum, we had a long talk about what the Remy Halo does, okay? The Remy Halo is a electromagnetic spectrum light that you install, Joe installs, inside of the thing where the air circulates around. What's that called? The plenum? Am I getting that right? The air plenum? Yeah, that's what it is, of your HVAC system. The electromagnetic energy given off by the light interacts with minute bacteria and viruses like COVID, okay, like the coronavirus, and any type of pet dander, allergen, pollen, whatever it may be, and then turns it, because of it being bathed in these really, really strong lights, into harmless hydrogen peroxide. And one little molecule of hydrogen peroxide, it's going to bind with the other ones. It's going to coalesce together. And then when it gets big enough, floating through your air system, going from your home into the fan, through your home into the fan, when it gets big enough, it gets stopped in the friggin' trap. And you pull that thing out every month and you throw it away. Your home's cleaner. Joe installs it. 616-516-8579. 616-516-8579. All the other schmucks who install this in West Michigan charge about $1,000. Joe charges $750, but it's $650 when you mention the show. Get it installed. All the restaurants in town are installing it to keep their customers safe from coronavirus. That is a fact. Look it up, REME Halo, and you'll see what I look at when I tell you about it. You can do your own homework on this. That's what it does. Cleans the air. Remy Halo, 616-516-8579. Have Joe install it for you. All right. Then there's my pals over at Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. 616-532-6600. Hey, I need an oil change. Can I just drop it off? Well, yeah, sure. Just drop it off. Put the keys in the drop box thing. Little envelope that says what you want done. Change the oil. Okay, great. So then the next day, whatever, after you drop it off, they go ahead, they do the oil, but they also look over all the other systems. Hey, you know what else we noticed on the vehicle, Mr. So-and-so? What? Well, your transmission fluid looks like shit. You ever had this change? I don't know. Well, look, in fact, here's an example, and this is all in an email. This is the color it's supposed to be, and this is, it's kind of like a little color gauge that shows different levels of degradation of the fluid. Yours is like shit brown. That means it sucks. So that's not good for your transmission. This is a high priority. You want us to do this for you? Next time. Okay. You just hit the red button, decline, or the green button, accept. And then that's it. They go, okay, great, it's done. Here comes the payment invoice online. You press the button, couple keystrokes of your credit card, boom, or your debit card, paid for. Keys will be on the, there's a lockbox outside. We'll give you the code. You drive up, open a lockbox, get the damn keys, get in and leave. Now, that's a bummer because you don't get to see their beautiful shining faces, but still, that's the way they're doing it during this pandemic that's still going on. So that's awesome. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. That's how it's done. Wherever you are in West Michigan, call upon them. 616-532-6600, their website, to look at their Google reviews, the all-important Google reviews, ERVINES.com. All right. I feel bad about making fun of Carl earlier. Carl, I picked on your physical attributes, and I busted on you about something. I forget what. I know I said something mean. And I know you're like, oh, man, I hate it when people make fun of physical features. I always feel bad. I always feel guilty after I let somebody have it. So sorry, but fuck off. Okay, speaking of someone who needs to fuck off and did, it is John Geddert. I'd never heard of this guy. You'd never heard of this guy beforehand. We have no idea who this is. John Geddert was a decorated, extremely famous in gymnastics coach. All right. In Lansing, Michigan. You know, the home of Larry Nassar. Well, Michigan, state of Michigan had gotten word that this guy may be as big of a creep as Larry Nassar. And they were right. Apparently, Geddert worked with Nassar. And the state of Michigan has suggested in their indictment that Geddert and Nassar were working together to find out who they could rape. And he was like facilitating all of that, according to the state of Michigan. That Geddert was like with his gymnastics gym was, grooming girls and imposing. You've heard about this, where some of these creeps will use their authority or their role as a coach, where they have influence, to kind of like pick their spots of when they can be rapey, I guess. And enough people who are enforcing the law were looking into him and said to the Attorney General of the state of Michigan that we got enough. And he knew he was being indicted, this guy. He knew that it was coming. So he had been like preparing, from what I'm understanding, by like closing down his gymnasium and probably moving assets and shit like that, and preparing for the big one. The day that the Attorney General announces, all right, buddy, it's time to face the music. We're coming to get you. Go turn yourself in. That was yesterday. The day started yesterday with, oh, my God, former ex-Olympic coach John Geddert has been indicted. And when I see that, I'm like, oh, my God, yeah, what a creep. Holy shit. It wasn't really on my radar. I probably wouldn't have talked about it. But the story took a turn by like 3:30 in the afternoon, because this stupid bastard, his attorney said, yeah, he's going to turn himself in and he's going to be exonerated. No problem. Well, then a short time later, this attorney probably got a phone call and said, hey, yeah, guess what? What? You can take the Geddert trial off your calendar. Why? Well, he's dead. He shot himself in the head at the rest stop on I-96. I forgot what county. Clinton County. I know exactly where this rest stop is. It's if I'm headed to see my father or my late mother back in the day, I would pass this. I probably stopped at this rest stop many times. This dummy was like, well, he saved everybody a lot of trouble and took the coward's way out and knew he was going to get murdered in court, and so he just killed himself. So, took the coward's way out on the deal. Geddert coached the 2012 gold medal U.S. Olympics team, including champion Jordan Do I say Weber? It's spelled Wieber. He also has ties to Larry Nassar, previously the owner of Twistars, which closed just 2 weeks ago. That's where Gettert formed a partnership with Nassar, who used his job treating gymnasts at Twistars to molest the girls there. I didn't know he actually did it there. During Nassar's sentencing, some victims complained that Gettert was physically abusive and indifferent to injuries, and then would force them to see Nassar. So they think that he's like, why don't you go see Dr. Nassar so he can let his fingers do the walking? In the swirl of the accusations, Gettert stepped back from managing Twistars in 2018 and handed it over to his wife. Then in January of 2020, Michigan State Police and members of the Attorney General's office raided Gettert's Grand Ledge home in Twistars in Diamonddale, carrying boxes of records and potential evidence. The next day, Rita Weber, I hope I'm saying that right, the mother of the gymnast, talked to News 10 in Lansing. As a mother over the years with John as coach, I was concerned about many things. She said, I was encouraged to think that there is still a chance justice is going to be served. Boy, the gymnastics, that whole world is full of fucking maniacs. That famed coach, that dirtbag Bella Caroli, one of these abusive scumbags. I mean, it's really weird to me when I hear about coaches and that type of heavy-handed approach on things. How did that become a thing? You know, the whole Bob Knight, treat the athlete like shit thing. Can you imagine if these athletes were led by someone who actually wasn't a cocksucker, how much more great they would be and how less anguish they would have in their life after they're done doing whatever bit of athletics that they used to do? I think you're hearing less and less of that from younger coaches. It's the old assholes that do that, you know? The Attorney General from Michigan announced Thursday, in the first part of the day, that Gettert was scheduled to be charged with 20 counts of human trafficking, 1 count of racketeering, 2 counts of criminal sexual conduct, according to the Attorney General. In total, he was going to face 24 felony charges. Oh, my God. So many years he was facing. The 14 counts of human trafficking, forced labor was a 15-year felony. Also, the rest of them, it's a 20-year felony, another 20-year felony, a life offense felony for the first-degree criminal sexual conduct, plus a 15-year felony and a 4-year felony. Nessel stated that Gettert would turn himself in at the Eaton County Sheriff's Office substation in Delta Township. His arraignment was supposed to be yesterday afternoon, and now the fucker's dead. Man. Gettert insisted he had zero knowledge of the crimes. His attorney said Gettert would surrender peacefully if charged. We'll make arrangements to surrender. We're not running from anybody or anything, said attorney Chris Bergstrom. Yeah, bad news, dum-dum. Can you imagine if it comes out that actually he was 100% innocent? Nobody thinks that, right? I got this email about this story from so many people, and it was all like, well, we know who did it now. We know he was guilty, right? There isn't anybody thinking, well, my God, he was innocent. He was just wrought with anguish. What a coward. You know? I mean, I could understand the despair knowing that you won't see your family for the rest of your life. So you're just going to do that. But what a gutless way to do it, you know? The fact that now your family has to, the whole recovery of the body, the fact that you're such a scumbag, you do it in a rest stop where there could have been like kids there who might see your remains, people who you may have affected someone inside of that facility that has no idea what's going on in a terribly traumatic way. That's not exactly the easiest thing to get over. It's seeing some piece of shit with his brains blown out of the inside of the stall. You fucking asshole. What a dick. The Michigan State Police confirmed that this asshole was found dead 3:24 yesterday afternoon. Manley Stewart and Finaldi attorney Sarah Klein, Nassar's first known victim who trained with Geddert for more than 10 years, addressed the suicide. John Geddert's escape from justice by committing suicide is traumatizing beyond words. Klein said he tortured and abused little girls, myself included, for more than 30 years and was able to cheat justice. This is a brave person right here. She probably was well involved with the indictment to have this guy face the music. So this person's pissed off because now is not going to see this scumbag face the music. Geddert was a narcissistic abuser. His suicide is an admission of guilt that the entire world can now see. You basically just cremate him, throw the ashes in the garbage. Goodbye, John Geddert. All right? Or throw him in the ground, no grave marker. Poor family. I hope they can change their name and wipe this horrible. It's hard. I know it's got to be tough, but your husband / father / brother / son was a rapist who had a double life, and anybody else who is aware of what he did is complicit in that. Fuck them. May they burn in hell too, along with him. What a bunch of animals. I don't know if there's actually anybody involved. I'm just assuming. But somebody else knows something. I don't know if somebody else associated with the family is going to be involved in the criminal complaint. But from what I'm understanding, and you know what? I can't say that for sure. I don't want to suggest anything and then have it not be true. I already do that enough inadvertently. Wow. Shocking story. All right. What's going on here? Is there a fight going on in the comments? You guys talking politics while I'm beating this guy up? I see a lot of long-winded comments. Oh, man. There must be something interesting. I'm going to have to get the popcorn ready and read this action going on. When I see Joe Martinez writing, both of you are wrong. I know it's going down with the Zaniacs. I think it's coming to an end, though. Because Mitchell writes, regardless of your views, glad we're all friends here and that won't change. Nick says, oh, yeah, we're good. We just fundamentally disagree. That's how the Zaniacs operate, man. We don't let whatever it is you're fighting about, which I don't know, get in the way of our love for each other. We love each other emotionally, and we have sex with each other. I'm just kidding about that. I have no idea if that's true. I still have never heard if there actually was a real Zaniacs swingers group. Do you remember that back in the day? That's going to come up in the Lost Zane recordings one day. The episode about the Zaniacs, Eric Zane Show podcast, Eric Zane Show radio show, I should say, listeners swingers group. Was that, maybe it was a fake thing. I don't know. I've never heard anything about it outside of when we talked about it on that one episode of the show. All right. I love you guys too. But you're wrong about a lot of stuff that I'm right about. Okay. You know what boils my blood? When I see a story that I'm interested in and someone writes, who cares? Slow news day? Who cares, man? The story about the dog walker. Lady Gaga is on location doing something famous, but she has a trusted person who walks her puppy dogs. She's got 3 Frenchies, you know? And the guy, his name is Ryan Fisher, is walking the dogs. He's just taking the Frenchies for a walk. And some maniac drives up 2 maniacs and they steal the dogs. What are the dogs' names? Like Koji? I don't know. He's got 3 that he's walking. And they just pull up and let's see. The dog walker, as Ryan Fisher, was strolling along North Sierra Bonita Avenue with Lady Gaga's dogs, Gustav, Koji, and Miss Asia. Miss Asia and Gustav were stolen. Koji is not stolen. These idiots, while taking the dog, and he's trying no, pull out a gun and shoot him in the chest. Okay. They take Miss Asia, they take Gustav, and they peel out. Koji runs up to dude and starts trying to help him. The guy's calling for help. Now, I have the audio of this. This is hard to listen to. I'm not going to lie. Somebody's Ring doorbell camera. I'm a little bit, I can't say for sure, but I think someone, because the guy's calling out for help and someone says, we're calling 911. I wonder if the people who said, we're calling 911 were watching it and then didn't come out and help. That would be, I guess I could see that, but I'm hoping that they just had no idea what was happening and didn't become made aware until after the gun was fired. TMZ had this. They freeze framed it at the point that the guy actually got shot, but you can hear it. They kept the audio rolling, and then so they lifted that part out, and then he's laying there. He's still alive right now. He's in critical condition, but he was badly hurt. This might be it's a podcast. I don't really have to make disclaimers on anything, but some of you, I wouldn't want you to be uncomfortable with this. This is a 1 minute and 50-second clip. If you're triggered by something terrible, because you're going to hear this guy screaming bloody murder, and then you're going to hear the gun go off too. This is bad. It's from the Ring doorbell cam where it all went down. That's my disclaimer.
Get out! Get out! Get out! Help me!
Oh my God. Oh, you can hear the dog. Dog's upset. Take off.
No! Help me! I've been shot! Oh my God! I've been shot!
God.
Help me! We're calling 911 for you! I'm bleeding out my heart, my lungs!
Oh my God, he says, I'm bleeding out my heart, my lungs is terrible. Someone's coming to help me. He's like, well, where the fuck were you guys? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh my God! Help me! They stole 2 dogs!
He's seeing they stole 2 dogs. He's thinking about the dogs. This guy's a hero. Holy shit. This poor guy. It breaks my heart. Okay, I can't take it anymore. But that was it. So that's a serious fucking thing, man. That is just horrible. So what's up? There's a couple schools of thought on this. One a little bit more sinister. They're both terrible. One a little bit more sinister than the other. I see a story about French bulldogs. Likely Lady Gaga's are frequent targets for theft. So I've never heard of anybody just walking down the street and taking, I guess it stands to reason. I just can't imagine selling these dogs on the black market like that. And who's the fucking scumbag who buys it from somebody who does something like this? I don't know. Or maybe they hide that they stole the dog. I don't know. But that's exactly what it, I guess, could have been. But then why wouldn't they take 3 dogs? I don't know. Maybe they just wanted to get out of there and couldn't get the other one, or the other one was hard to wrangle. I have no idea. 4th most popular dogs in the U.S., and because they're typically smaller and easier to steal than the other breeds, that might be the thing. Now, so there's discussion about that. The dogs are in high demand. French bulldogs from reputable breeders are expensive, $3,000 to $5,000. The motive is resale. Thieves know they can get a couple $1,000s for them. And it says that French bulldog thefts are actually on the rise. The American Kennel Club lists them, as I said, behind Labradors, Goldens, and German Shepherds. but they're easier to steal because they're so small. It says weighing 28 pounds or less. Not Bruce over here. Bruce is approaching 40 pounds, and he's absolutely ripped. He's the tallest Frenchie I've ever seen in my life. Whenever we go to the Frenchie meetup at the Pack, they're always like, he sure is tall. I go, I know. He's tall and he's ripped. If you pet any of the other Frenchies, they're squishy. It's like squeezing a overripe potato. And Bruce is like, you squeeze him, and it's like it's all muscle on this guy. And God help them if they steal Bruce after he's eaten the corned beef hash that I mix in with this food. They'll be like, what the fuck? They throw the dog out the window. Bruce is like, ah! So this is terrible. This is just awful. She has put a $500,000 reward for information on who did this. And that isn't just to get the dogs back. It's because this poor son of a bitch who got shot, my God. Oh, that was terrible. That's how I would sound, though. If I were shot, I don't even think I can get my voice that high when, if I'm just sitting here. But that's me. If I would get shot, I would be like, oh, my God. I would just be screaming bloody murder. That is me 100%. Hell, I do that when I stub my toe, let alone get shot. This guy's a legend for trying to tip people off that 2 dogs had just been stolen. Please help them before you help me. Then there's this. I hadn't heard this one, but I'm just telling you, the New York Post is reporting that federal investigators are looking into this dog napping as being politically motivated. It was Dirk who did it. Shut up, man. You know why? Since she sang at Joe Biden's inauguration. No idea. The FBI is working on the case with LAPD. Lady Gaga is high profile, of course. This is a quote, but she sang at Biden's inauguration, which takes this case to another level. According to a source, the FBI wants to know exactly what motivated this incident, so they're investigating that. Come on. No way, right? An FBI spokesperson referred the son to the LAPD. That's the son was involved in this story, which the Post picked up, which is leading the investigation into the dog napping in which the singer's dog walker was shot in the chest. The rep noted that the Bureau provides resources if we're requested to our local partners, which said it was reached out to by the LAPD. The fact that they're getting the feds involved on Lady Gaga's dogs being stolen, to me, is telling. However, although the feds are involved, investigators are working on the assumption that the attack by the thieves was just a straightforward armed robbery. So they're not ruling that out, but more than likely it was just a couple of thieves. So, wow, holy crap! And I haven't. Says Fisher put up a fight. One of the men shot him with a semi-automatic handgun. Then they sped off with Gustav and Koji. And apparently this guy is recovering. So hopefully this guy will make it. Nearby resident Buck Angel, that's the other dude's voice who you heard, who called 911, told the Sun that where the attack happened just can't just be down to chance, adding that the area where it took place has no witnesses that live there and has been empty for 5 years. They had to have chosen that spot to carry out the attack, and those dogs were targeted for ransom. It had to be, he told the outlet. They must have wanted to blackmail Lady Gaga for money. When the police arrived and came out, I saw my neighbor from across the street giving aid to the man who was shot. He said he was compressing his chest, trying to stop the bleeding. He was saving his life. I actually thought he was dead. He was shot once, I believe, even though there were 2 gunshots. The injured guy told our neighbor he was compressing the wound. Those were Lady Gaga's dogs. So that's how we found out. My God. Really, really crazy. Holy shit. I hated that audio. Man, that was rough. Okay, more coming up, including a couple of educators who are really acting like idiots. This is going to piss you off. I'm telling you. That comes up in just a second. Hey, the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast this week, we're doing it on Saturday. All right? SATURDAY. Saturday, 7 p.m. on Patreon. Ben and Eric Patreon podcast, once again, happens on Saturday. If you want to play and bet on Ben, I've got about 3, 4, 5 players who have not played before in the hopper. I've got the backups who have played before in case we run out. If you haven't played yet and you want to play Bet on Ben live on the Patreon, okay, on the live stream, your face right there, you, me, Ben, send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com. I'll get you in. You know what? I'll even let you play if you're not a Patreon member, just so you can have the fun, you know? And then maybe you'll be like, this is so much fun. I want to sign up for the Patreon. What the hell? The Patreon is $5 or $10 a month. My suggestion, if you're like on the fence about it, maybe not. I mean, Eric's kind of shitty, but sometimes he's good. Sometimes he's shitty. I don't know if I want to spend the money on that. I don't know. I mean, seriously, he gives me so much content already. Whatever. If that's your thinking, just try it out once, just 1 month. And $5 a month, the entire audio archive history and any new audio. The $10 a month is the same thing, plus the video archive and any new video and the video live streams. Okay. You got Lost Zane recordings. You got the Insane Asylum radio show. You got Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia to win cash. You've got the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. You've got the daily Patreon bonus podcast. That's about 12 and a half hours a week of material. I got it figured out. In addition to the free podcast. Try it out. And then if it stinks or you're like, I'm just swamped with content, I never listen to it. Well, then cancel that shit. You'll get it for the rest of the month. It just won't auto-renew. If you like it, though, continue the sign-up and go to the full year where I'll give you 10% off on the year. So what was $60 is now $54. What was $120 is now $108. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Thank you. Horizon Hydroponics. If you like growing stuff indoors, we're in the indoor growing season, and you want the biggest, best of whatever it is you're growing, cacti, succulents, tomatoes, cannabis, there's only one place, one group of amazing experts. Let's say you live in, Atlanta, Georgia. You want to buy something from Horizon Hydroponics, but you're not sure. You got a question about it, this product that you're thinking about. There's a number on the website. Call. Some pot nerd is going to pick up the phone. Yeah, man, I'm looking at this fertilizer. I want to buy this thing, man. It says here it's supercharged. Is it gonna help me grow my plants? Tell me your opinion on it. Tell me what you think, and they'll tell you straight up what's up with that. Okay. All right, thanks. I'm going to buy it. Spend $250 and more at horizonhydroponics.com. Shipping's free. At checkout, coupon code Zane Show. Save 10%. There you go. That's for online orders only. HORIZEN. Remember, it's ZEN. Horizon Hydroponics. Get it? .com. Also, brick and mortar stores on Alpine and Grand Rapids. The Growers Outlet in Byron Center. Lansing and Kalamazoo. Thank you, Horizon Hydroponics. Horizon Hydroponics was one of my old radio sponsors back in the day. And I was able to convert them to the podcast. Thank you so much for that. Still working on Alan Bob's. Merle is, oh my God. You guys remember Merle? He's a dude that owns Alan Bob's. Merle is like a freaking hermit inside of the store. I think he must live there. And he is so unplugged. He is the most unplugged man on the spectrum. The only way I was able to get his attention about potentially being on the podcast was I had to drive over there to Alan Bob's, which is also in Byron Center. And Merle, I keep calling him Earl. That's probably why he's not getting back to me. I go, Merle, what the fuck? I want you on the podcast. You need, okay, yeah, I'm interested. Send me all the info. Okay, I will. I sent him the info. What did you think? No answer. Merle! And I wrote another one. I go, Merle, are you going to make me actually drive back out there to get your response? Is that how this is? I mean, it would be faster if we use smoke signals, Smoke screens. What am I doing? Anyway, trying to get Merle on the show. I need Merle and Scott from Al and Bob so we can talk the stupid fishing and the stupid hunting thing that you hillbillies like to do. I wouldn't be caught dead doing that shit. But I know you hilljacks love that stuff. And you get your gear from Al and Bob's. There you go. It's a freebie, Merle. Son of a bitch, man. Where are you? Damn it. All right. Where was I? Blue Frost IT. All right. These guys, whether you own the business or you work for the woman or the man who owns the business, you need to keep this managed IT service provider and full spectrum IT and consulting and support company in mind. Your tech at some point is going to go haywire. This is who you need to remember. Blue Frost IT. It's all you need to remember. BlueFrostIT.com. If you get in the weeds, that's who you call. Don't say I didn't warn you. You should be using them as your managed IT service provider with a in-place service contract like I have. They'd send me a bill each month. I pay it. And then when I need them, hey, this shit's fucked. Come help. Okay, thanks. That's it. That's how it works. Or hourly as needed. You can use them that way. All right. If you're a cheap bastard. Or if you have a project that you're working on. Let's say you want to move the office from one place to the other. They can do the office rewire, the network drops, the network wall jacks, everything you need, man. They got you covered at Blue Frost IT. Ranked number one. I'm holding two up. Number one for 2 years running in West Michigan by Managed IT Spectrum website magazine. Yes, that's true. It's a true thing. That's real. 100%. They got the awards to prove it. BlueFrostIT.com. Thank you so much, guys. 616-200-8550 for Blue Frost IT. All right. Last year's or yesterday's asshole of the day was the narc dad of the OnlyFans page. Remember that deal? Today's asshole of the day, it would be the Gaga dog nappers, but it's got to be John Geddard, right? I mean, come on. Gutless twat, rapist, John Geddard. There you go. Good luck with that. That's your asshole of the day. That's why I love the podcast. We can say that. Fuck you, John Geddard. May you burn in hell. The rapists and the murderers burn in this fiery lake. That's a line from a Ray Wiley Hubbard song. So do all the politicians and the cops on the take. That's the next line. Come on over here, son. Hold on. Come on over here, son. Let me show you around. Over there's where we put the rapists. No. Over there's where we put the preachers. I never liked those clowns. They always blaming me for everything wrong under the sun. It ain't that hard to do what's right. It's just maybe not as much fun. Eric, stop singing. Why? Because they hate it. Come on, guys. No, seriously, you sound like an asshole. The hell was I going to talk about? Okay, one more sponsor for you. Tag Accounting. We're getting close to tipping point, man. April is tax day, so you still have time to book an appointment with Tag Accounting. Mine is coming up on the 2nd of March. The 2nd of March. Now, I do mine face-to-face with Troy because I like to sit down and have FaceTime with the tax hobbit. You don't have to do that. You can do it all online, okay? Anywhere in the United States. 616-301-9516 for your business or for your personal taxes. Tag Accounting. I recommend them highly. So do the Zaniacs. If you were to look at the comments on any of these given days, somebody's always writing, oh, my God, I used Tag, and he was awesome, man. It was great. Worked out. Got my return done very, very fast on my tax day that I was scheduled to do it. And I got my cash back really, really quick. Deposited right into my bank account. Other than just me having to pay him for the service and provide my documents, I did nothing, and it was expertly done. I'm so happy. Tag Accounting, 616-301-9516. The email is troy@tagaccounting.com, or just go to their website, tagaccounting.com, and see for yourself. Okay, the next two stories have to do with educators acting like assholes. This first one comes to us with, actually, there's two bits of audio that go with these stories. One for each story. Let me see here. Hold on a second. Where's the one? Did I lose it? Oh, that's a bummer. Aha. It's a college professor at some school in, it's called Oxnard College in California. There's a physiology class going on remotely. Everybody's on Zoom. This professor started acting like started freaking out and berating a student for not listening. And he's yelling at her and giving her the business. Oh, God, it's really awkward and ugly. And, it just kind of goes on a real long time. He's accusing her of not listening. Why is this a big deal? Why is this being talked about? Well, another student recorded the video footage of the interaction. Everybody's seeing this, on the stream, and then posted it. And, the girl's hard of hearing. She has massive hearing loss. She is. I don't even think you're supposed to say deaf these days, but she can't hear shit. And she uses there's a piece of software that interprets for her. So his words hit, and then I don't know if she reads it or it plays amplified for her so that she actually can hear it if she does have any hearing. Either way, there's a delay. This guy thinks that because of the delay between him and her, the information getting to her not at the same pace as a person who isn't hard of hearing, he assumes she's like fucking around in the classroom. So starts giving her the business. Now, and when she speaks, you can tell she's able to speak, but has that type of speaking pattern that you hear often on a hearing impaired person, that they can't hear themselves. So it's quite a struggle for a person who is hard of hearing to be able to actually learn to speak. She's managed to do that. She can speak, and she does defend herself here, but it has that type of cadence and inflection of a person who is hard of hearing. Third person into the ring is another student who takes up the defense of her to explain it to this cocksucker that she's hard of hearing, but he's not having it. If I'm a teacher who starts giving shit to the hard of hearing chick, and then she says, I can't hear anything, that's why there's a delay, or if she finds that out, or if the student takes us, professor, she's hard of hearing, give her a pass, man. You got to go, oh, fuck. You cannot dig your heels in at that point. You got to go, this is all you do at that point. Ladies and gentlemen, I've just made a terrible mistake, and I need to go make some amends with hard of hearing student. I'm going to call it a class here. You all get an A on the next exam. Try not to say shit about this. In fact, I'll give you an A for the class if you don't say shit about this. So this a bit of butt fuckery that I've just shown for all of you. This is a problem. I am going to go fix this with hard of hearing student and go send her some flowers, some Sherry's berries, a Vermont teddy bear, pajamagram, that to fucking gift card. This is all I'm going to do. Congratulations. You all get A's. Smell you later. That's I think good here. But this stupid asshole digs the heels in and says, fuck this, fuck her. Check this shit out. This is incredible. What the fuck? Where is it? Okay, here you go.
Miss Salazar, I've been talking to you, Miss Salazar.
No, I can hear you a little bit.
You can hear me a little bit? Why didn't you answer all the times I spoke to you then? Thank you. Thank you. Why don't we talk sometimes? Why don't you email me? We'll set up a live Zoom, and we're going to have some real communication at some point in time, okay? Maybe you can have your counselor join us.
Oh, boy.
Okay? Do you hear me?
Okay. Hold on a second. I have to adjust a piece of audio and pick this up here. Okay, hold on. We need to pick it up with him saying, "Can you hear me?" Oh my God.
Okay, maybe you can have your counselor join us. Okay, do you hear me?
No, I don't.
Okay, wonderful. Do that.
Professor, she's actually hard of hearing, so her translator goes in a little bit late. She can't respond right away.
Okay, now that's perfect. The kids just said, for your information, the kid, the third person into the ring, isn't even being isn't attacking the professor. She's just informing him. He's at a crossroad at this point. It's if he'd have done the Eric Zane show plan of damage control, we wouldn't be talking about this. He doesn't do that. Man, is this bad? That sounded so bad. I felt, and if you can actually see the video on this, so I'll post it later. And that poor hard of hearing kid is just she's just got a look on her face like she just got kicked, and it made me feel so bad.
She's not paying attention. She's not trying. Are you her translator, Abigail?
No, I'm not by
translator, but I have a translator next to me.
It's slower on her end because she needs to get it translated, and then it goes to her hearing piece.
Okay.
So
Ms. Salazar, have your counselor speak with me because you've got too much distraction to even understand what's going on.
Oh!
Yes, I do, because my translator is next to me explaining me everything that he's saying.
Okay.
So
then maybe just have them teach you the whole.
Okay, wait a second here. Now everybody has been polite in dealing with the world's second biggest asshole. John Gettert's the biggest. We all know that. This professor is lucky that John Gettert was in the news, or this guy would be your asshole of the day. Hard of hearing girl politely explains what's happening, and he still is being a dick.
Okay.
So
then maybe just have them teach you the whole class. That makes sense to me. I don't know.
All the while, he's shaking his head. He's disgusted with her. He is so pissed off at this girl because she can't hear. Fuck.
Understand it. But I see you laughing and smiling and giggling with somebody else. It doesn't seem to
I'm
me
in a
like
good mood. Why should I be in a bad mood?
you shouldn't be in a
She
bad
says, well, I'm in a good mood. Why should I be in a bad mood?
mood. You should be paying attention to class.
I'm in a good mood.
All right. Whatever. Okay. Wait, in your terms. Whatever.
Okay.
All right.
I'm not arguing.
I understand.
She says, I'm not arguing. This kid is awesome.
Damn.
Have your counselor talk to me. Period.
Somebody goes,
And earlier he was cussing at this
Have
girl.
have your counselor speak with me. Period.
I know. I have no problem. I don't want you arguing with me.
Okay.
she goes, I know. I don't know why you're arguing with me.
Okay.
Like I'm disrespecting you, and you're just attacking me.
Yeah. You asshole.
Okay.
Fucking back
okay.
off. You've already humiliated the shit out of her, you fucking asshole.
I'm not attacking. Not attacking you. I'm
Fucking
just
piece of shit bully.
significantly disappointed in you.
What the fuck, man? Son of a bitch. As of yesterday on this story, Michael Abram. I'm going to do a Google search on him now with update. 24 hours has passed. Maybe he's fired. Let's hope he is. Click the news button. I don't think he's been fired. Can we all agree that this guy needs to be canceled here? Is there anybody who's listening to the show that doesn't think that Michael Abrams should lose his job for that performance? Are we all on the same page here? Speak now or forever hold your peace. This is a fireable offense, in my opinion. He was put on paid leave. Oh, you gave him a vacation? That's not a punishment. Oh, my God. That's like you gave him time off and paid for it. There's no way this guy can be allowed to teach people. This guy shouldn't be allowed to do anything. Oh. Hold on a second here. Maybe I can get some more info about this. No, they have to speak out about this. I mean, the school has to do something. They can't just try to sweep it under the rug, right? Oh, that was ugly. Mr. Abram still talking. Yeah, there's no real update on it. The person who recorded the video to show the administrators the professor's behavior, which she claimed other students had noticed during Mr. Abrams' lessons this year. In a statement on the official Twitter page just a day after the video was uploaded to TikTok, the school's president, Luis Sanchez, confirmed that Abram had been put on administrative leave while they investigate the footage. Well, we just did that. It took me 6 minutes to investigate this footage. You simply just fire him. I am saddened and outraged beyond words that any of our students should either be or feel disrespected by any of the employees. Oxnard College is wholeheartedly committed to treating all of our students with the utmost respect. Well, why did you give this guy a paid leave? This is a terrible look by the school. We denounce discriminatory harassment of any kind. Yeah, this is in its purest form discriminatory. My God. Just the fact that this guy dug his heels in like this. God, that was gruesome. The investigation could take up to 90 days to complete it. 90 days? How? The fuck, man? They're reaching out to students. Okay, all right. You can talk to the students about behavior patterns, how this guy has been in the past, maybe establish a little bit more of a timeline. All right, I'll give you that, but you can't pay the guy. I mean, Jesus. The National Association of the Deaf CEO, Howard Rosenblum, I guess we can say deaf if the organization is called the National Association of the Deaf, released a statement following the announcement of the investigation, criticizing the professor and explaining that the support hard of hearing students need varies between each person. The use of interpreters or captioning usually results in additional time for the deaf or hard of hearing student to receive all the information and then be able to respond. The fact that was made clear to this hot-headed idiot, and he still behaved like that. Oh, that was rough. Okay, taking a look at the... Josh says this could be a co-AOTD. And if you get Nick, who is anti-cancel, Patriot Nick, to say this guy needs to be removed from his position immediately, he doesn't deserve to teach our youth, that's all I need to see to know that there isn't one person in the audience that would say that this guy has a leg to stand on. He's canceled. If Nick says it, there's no fucking way you're going to survive, because Nick hates cancel. I'm going to put honorable mention on the bottom. We've never done this before. To, what's his name? Do we have a name? I might have said it, but I already forgot it. Oh, yeah, I did say it. I did forget it. Mike Abram. There you go. Mike Abram. What an asshole. You ever do something where you, I mean, we've all done this. We've all dug our heels in when we know we're wrong. And we're so mortified that we're wrong. We then continue to dig. I've done this. Not to this level, obviously. There have been times when I've been like accusatory towards Madison, and then with just a sentence, I was wrong. And then I'm like, I feel like such a dick. And then I'm like, yeah, but and then I just give up. And then a few minutes pass. Then I apologize. Yeah, you should apologize, Dad. One of those deals. That happens. I wonder if this guy is so far gone that he never has that moment. Or if he actually has the moment like 6 hours later where he's like, oh my God, I'm such a cock. Can you imagine? He's going to be dead in the stall next to John Geddard. You know, I would want to hang myself. I would feel so bad when you calm down and the rage leaves you and you feel like a dick. Oh my God, it's terrible. Okay, that's that. Now, that is not the only asshole educator, though. This guy, though, really does a hell of a job at damage control. I give this guy tons of credit. I have always tried to be a face the music type of guy. Okay? Just say what it is. And then pick up the pieces. Hope for the best. All right? It's just the easiest way. I've always preached this. This guy does not dig his heels in. It is yet another example of Zoom ruining someone. He is a teacher's aide. Okay? So I guess the same position as like Diana would be, a parapro. That's a fancy name for a teacher's aide. He was helping the kids learn through Zoom in a Maryland community. And so then it was time to like take a break. And then, the other students, the 8th graders, this is a special needs class too, similar to Diana's. But Diana teaches in person. They don't here. The kids are sitting there on the Zoom, and they got a few minutes to have the snack, maybe the juice bags or the orange slices or maybe the PB&J. It's lunchtime, whatever. And then the teacher's aide whips out his dick and starts beating his meat. Like all the way, like on the camera, they see this fat guy's throbber and he's just working it. And then it just all over the place. It's just a disaster. He actually did it all the way and sat down and went, oh, thank God. I'm glad I got that out of the way. And then he goes to click back on and he realizes, oh my God, I'm on. And all the kids are like, holy shit, Mr. So-and-so's jacking his dick right there. Oh my God, I can't believe it. The guy's name is Mark Shack. Mark Shack was seen pounding his pud viciously by all of the kids in the school. Now, before we get into all the details, the gory details of this, and you'll hear this guy talk, try to go back in time to when you were in 8th grade. Now, back then, if you're old like me, there's no such thing as a way to disseminate any information in this way, shape, or form. It's all like a gossip. And teachers would never get into trouble. I don't remember anything ever happening bad to a teacher. There was no sex with kids. There was nobody beating anybody up, nobody yelling at the deaf guy. There was never shit happening. The only thing I remember was one hot-headed Marine Sergeant, Mr. Wickersham, when I was in 6th grade. And I was in Miss Nichols' class. Wickersham would fucking flip out all the time. If your desk was messy, and he'd take the desk and he'd throw it out in the hallway. Clean that shit up, motherfucker. And he wouldn't swear, though, or if you mouthed off to him, he would throw your ass against the wall and bring his fist back. He said he's going to strangle your ass, and he might punch you. He'd threaten to punch you. He wouldn't punch you. That was no big deal. Happened all the time. And then back then, and then he'd say, take this note home to your parents. And then the note says, Patrick was an asshole. And I put him up against the wall, and then the dad or the mom would kick the shit out of him when they got home. That's the way we did it in Warren, Michigan. It's all Polacks and Italians, and that's it. And that's the way you would take care of kids in 1970, whatever. Nowadays, and then like about the most personal thing you would get from them, you'd be able to figure out that they would drink a lot of coffee and that they would smoke cigarettes in the teacher's lounge. And that's what they would do, because then they come back to the classroom and they smell like cigarettes and coffee. Mrs. Petrosella, I'll never forget it. She's just a absolutely beautiful, stunning woman. And her teaching me math, I was just so thick-skulled I couldn't get it because of her beauty. And then that smell, it was just gross smell of cigarettes and coffee. And she's like, and she, back then they just call you names and you fuck it up. And she's giving me a math problem. And I fucking, what are you, thick? What are you, dumb? Yeah, I am. And you're beautiful. I want to suck your titties. Holy shit. Oh my God. And it smells terrible, but I don't care. You're beautiful. So, that's about it. There wasn't anything more other than that. But this guy's beating his meat because of Zoom. And we have had so many crazy stories in the pandemic. Thank God for Zoom, for all the material that we've gotten. So Mark Shack's beating his meat on the camera, and then the local TV station went to his house, and the guy opens the door and says, yeah, I'll talk to you. And he gave him a thorough response. Check this out.
First, our big local story, an educator admitting to Fox 5 he engaged in a sexual act while still logged onto a virtual class session. And students saw it. Montgomery County school officials say this happened on Monday with an 8th grade class.
And we should warn you, the details you're about to hear are graphic. Stephanie Ramirez at Shady Grove Middle School tonight. She has the story. Stephanie.
Hey guys, this was a virtual 8th grade class. I talked to the man who says he was the staffer involved. He told me he thought he had logged off of this virtual session. He also claims today that he did not know it was recorded and posted to social media until this morning when a reporter called asking questions about it. And this is even after the school principal sent a letter out to the community yesterday informing them and warning them of the social media post, especially Mark Shack. He is
so somebody recorded it, and now it's like available of this guy pounding his pud. Okay, this guy hopes to keep his job. For me, I don't even attempt it. I just immediately put the for sale sign up, and you move to, maybe just a little bit out of the district. I don't know, Utah, Idaho, or perhaps Oregon. That's what I would do.
The man we're talking about here, he gave Fox
and change your fucking name for sure.
5 an on-camera interview today, admitting that it was him in the sexual act and that this was him, the one placed on administrative leave Monday. The recording shows the virtual session identify Mark Shack as the host. It then shows a man get up, turn to the side, and start fondling himself. We're only showing screen grabs because of how graphic the video is. Shack told us today he works as a teacher's aide and that this was a virtual history class involving 2 or 3 students. He says he's been at Shady Grove for about 3 years. He's listed as a special ed paraeducator on the school's website. The principal of the school sent a note to the families yesterday informing them of this incident. A school spokesman.
Sorry you saw Mark's stiff dick.
And also warned students could face disciplinary action if caught posting or sharing the video. Mark Shack was very shaken up when we talked with him.
He was shaken up. Mark Shack was shaken up when we talked to him,
saying he thought he had lost.
But you know what? Listen to this guy own this. He's owning this shit, man.
And that he was doing this in the privacy of his own home.
So what?
I don't know what to say. It was not directed towards the kids. I had no clue that I was online. I'm not like a deviant, and I wouldn't do something to jeopardize my career. That's silly. I've been, for 20 plus years. I never did anything it was just
felt like rubbing one out. That's exactly what he's saying there.
Dumb luck that I happened to be on when it happened. I'm sorry if I offended or did anything. I didn't do it intentionally.
And Jack used the word.
I believe this guy. I believe him for that. He's going to lose his job. It doesn't matter. He shouldn't be. There's no way. There's no way. Can you imagine if in a year post-pandemic and he's back in the classroom? There's no way. There's no getting out of that. It's over, man.
shell-shocked, acknowledging that something like this could ruin his career. He also admitted to watching a pornographic video, saying that none of this was directed at any of the children on there. MCPS would not confirm his identity, but we do know that police are investigating this. He's not being charged of anything at the moment, but we do also know that the state's attorney's office, that they work very closely with local police on investigations of alleged crimes that involve children, especially. Guys, back to you.
Oh, this guy, he's fucked. So rough. Oh man, there is just that is unbelievable. Oh my God. Incredible. Nick says he was sweaty and his hands smelled of lotion. Rumor that on the Zaniac Zoom, different topic, that Jason will be performing a shot-for-shot reenactment. I can't talk. Reenactment this Saturday night on the Zaniac Zoom. I think that might have something to do with the drinking prowess, the getting hammered. Fuck off, I'm hammered.
Fuck off, I'm hammered.
Ability of one Kevin Kuipers.
He said he'd give me $100 if I took off all my clothes off.
Are we gonna be buying another third beer?
I have in my possession the second Zaniac Zoom.
Y'all want to make fun of me when I get fucked up in the Zaniac Zoom?
Fortunately, you're all going to keep waiting on Patreon. I don't have that reviewed yet. I haven't had a minute. It'll be worth it. It always is. It always is worth it. You just got to, got to take your time on this. Let's see. Tony Gebhardt, who is known as Blind Tony, okay? He weighs in on the idea of the teacher giving the business to the hard of hearing kid. He says, thank you, Eric. People like this make the disability, his words, community look terrible. Fired. No questions asked. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Hold on. I'm not done yet. I got more for you. We got to talk about this potato head thing. Where will I stand on this issue? Okay. It's about pronouns. You know how people do that? They say, hey, man, I've announced that these are my pronouns. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's what it has to do with on the potato head thing. Mr. Potato Head, Mrs. Potato Head, Potato Head. Where will my thoughts go to? Who will I side with on this? Because this is like everybody's talking about this damn thing. Zaniacs, Dirk, pain in the ass, Dirk, Dean, they're going to get together today at accesskent.com/health to look over all the new things on the COVID vaccine. They're all about it. Probably the biggest proponents of the vaccine. And they can't wait to get theirs. And Dirk and Dean want you to get yours too. These guys have been doing a great job following all the mask rules. They wear 2 masks, and that is awesome. They like to stay socially distant from people, and I couldn't be more happy with them doing that. Thank you, guys. AccessKent.com/health for any information you need on the pandemic, not to mention the COVID testing stations, all there for you in one spot. AccessKent.com/health. Thank you to the Kent County Health Department. Okay, Sunday is our big day for the TC Paintball War number 12, the Midwinter Classic. Gather up the group and meet me at TC Paintball. It's a 5 p.m. start on Sunday. Pizza party to get started from my friends at BC Pizza Grand Rapids. Order it online from BC Pizza Grand Rapids, please. Thank you so much. Mention me when you do that. We'll eat the pizza, and then we'll get ready for the big paintball event. All right? $35 is what it's going to set you back. Would you please send me an RSVP at ericzaneshow.com to let me know that you are coming if you have not done so already. And otherwise, I will see you at TC Paintball. $35. Normally, this is a $48 adventure that you're going to pay for this exact same thing. Zane Show podcast listeners get it for $35, whether you're bringing a gun or not. If you don't have a gun, you're getting the mask, the gun, the paint, all for that fee, and then the play, the field time. We're also going to do Jelly Ball, which is a new thing in a different part of the attraction at TC Paintball, where you're kind of like peering around corners, okay? And there's all these obstacles set up everywhere, and you're shooting this rapid-fire jelly ball, and they're about the size of a marble. They sting for about 1 second when they bounce off your face. All you need is the eye goggles. It's like high-end Nerf is what this is. And then all they do is hit you. They don't, like, explode like paint. Jelly Ball. We'll play that, too. This all goes down Sunday, 5 p.m., TC Paintball, Grand Rapids. Love to have you there. Send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com, or on your own, book a party, bachelor, birthday, whatever it may be, at TC Paintball in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Okay. That's from Rick, who did my intro again and still managed to screw it up because he referred to the show as not the title of the show. The title of the show is the Eric Zane Show podcast. It's not the Eric Zane Show. You can I know it says Eric Zane Show on that sign, but that's a metal sign. And I can't add the word podcast to it. The logo says podcast because that's what it is. All right. Potato Head. Hey, Mom. It's Christmas time or it's my birthday. I want a new present. Yeah, what do you want? Man, can you go ahead and get me a potato head? Yeah. Isn't it called Mr. Potato Head? Or Mrs. Potato Head? No. I mean, if I was a boy, yeah, I could see where you'd get me Mr. Potato Head. If I was a girl, you'd get me Mrs. Potato Head. But no, get me Potato Head with Mr. Potato Head on it. Well, wait a minute, I'm confused. Well, you see, Mom, there's box number 1 with Potato Head, Mr. Potato Head on the box. He's got the hat on and the mustache. Okay. That's not Mr. The box. That's not a potato. That's not a Mr. Potato Head though. That's just a potato head. And that's the one I want because I'm a boy. So you want Mr. Potato Head? No, I want Potato Head. Okay. And then, so if you're a girl, same thing. So there's still the Mrs. Potato Head. There's still the Mr. Potato Head, but the box just says Potato Head. They've announced that Mr. Potato Head, the toy, or Mrs. Potato Head, they're dropping the nomenclature, the MR period and the MRS period. They're making it gender neutral. Okay. Now, I don't think they're doing this to be woke, though. I think they're doing this to sell a couple more potato heads, right? I mean, that's the only reason why anybody would do this because, well, no one else gives a shit. No one gives a shit what is in front of the words potato head. Right? That's the only thing I can think of. It's a way to sell a few more of this toy that nobody gives a shit about anymore. Okay? First of all, kids don't want to play with Potato Head. Kids age 4 and up either play video games or look at porno. Even I can't, with a straight face, say that fucking joke. Well, you know what I mean. It's all on the phone. They're not playing ants in the pants anymore. They're not playing Don't Break the Ice. Nobody's busting out the mousetrap game. No. Okay? It's all dead. They're not going to nobody buys physical toys anymore. This is the death of the toy industry that we're seeing because of mobile devices and video games. And let's be honest. that toy sucks tons of dick. That is a stupid fucking toy. You got to take the potato head and the Lincoln Logs and the when you were a kid, did you have the girder and panel? Anybody here? Any of you old guys? Adam Knapp, do you remember the girder and panel kit? That was like the high-end Lincoln Logs. That was for the nerd kid who's going to be the engineer. He's going to go up to Michigan Tech because you get yourself a damn girder and panel, and then no, fuck, nobody remembers this. This is a terrible reference. But sure as shit, there is not a kid. I don't even know what generation we're dealing with here, because you had the millennials, and then generation, was it X, and then Z? I don't even know what's what. But there's no kids, the 8, 7, 6-year-old kids that are going, I sure want this toy. So this is the only way they're trying to get a little bit more money by getting a little bit of exposure, and stupid idiots like me talking about the fact that their name change is going to make any difference. Okay? And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. No one gives a shit what you want to be known as. That's cool that you want to be known as it. Okay? But nobody cares. There isn't a the only reason why they're telling you that they actually care what you want to be known as, it's because they want to get away from you, and they want to get away from the awkwardness. They're going to go, yeah, okay, that's great. Ooh. And then they're going to wander away. And what's that meme of that black guy where he raises his eyebrows and turns away? He goes, that's what everybody does. So there isn't a person really alive that's on Earth today that gives a shit what somebody's fucking nomenclature is. It just doesn't exist. So they are going gender neutral on the potato head thing. I think there's even a baby potato head. Okay. Oh. And then the assholes at Hasbro who make this disaster, they're actually had to do like some stupid like announcement about it. Hold on a second here. Okay. While it was announced today that the Potato Head brand name and logo are dropping the Mr., I am proud. Get it? I am proud. I think Patriot Nick wrote this thing. I am proud to confirm that Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head aren't going anywhere. And because the rumor was that they're just not going to be, a potato head. It's just going to be, it's not going to be Mr. You just have to like choose your own gender, which is what people do these days. Which is fine. I don't have a problem with anybody choosing their gender, but this whole thing is just fucked. They will remain Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. So basically what they're saying is they're just dropping the actual letters, and you can buy the boy one or the girl one. Well, what the fuck is that doing? That doesn't do anything. If you're eliminating the letters, but it's still the potato head with the mustache, that doesn't do shit. Okay? It's still a dude. You fucking assholes. Many toy makers have been updating their classic brands in recent years, hoping to relate to today's kids and reflect more modern families. Ugh. It's a potato, said Ali something Polish, editor-in-chief at toy review site The Toy Insider. But kids like to see themselves in the toys that they're playing with. They don't give a shit. There is no kid. That's the most ridiculous statement I've ever heard. A kid going, I really like this potato because it looks like me. I got news for you. If your kid looks like a potato, your kid's fucked. Okay? Fuck your fucking potato-looking kid. Ugh. Besides, kids don't play with this toy. Sales, 5 in the past year. Barbie, for example, has tried to shed its blonde image and now comes in multiple skin tones and body shapes. I can actually see that. But you know what I don't see? Barbie with a cock, okay? I don't undress Barbie and there's a big fat meaty dick on it, for God's sake. If there was, that'd be incredible. I would actually buy a Barbie if it had a big fat meaty dick and balls on it. I'll just say that right now. I'm going to buy that Barbie. I'm going to sit it right over here next to my Build-A-Bear, and that's exactly where it's going to. We're going to see Barbie's big fat gnarly dick on the show. Also, the Thomas the Tank Engine toy line added more girl characters. Okay. An American Girl is now selling an American boy doll. All right. Great. But those aren't gender neutral. Dropping the Mr. from its brand name could encourage other companies to stop assigning genders to its toys. Is that a goal? Is that what we're trying to do? A trend that has already been happening. Barbie maker Mattel released a gender-neutral doll line in 2019, but Mr. Potato Head is one of the biggest brands to do so. It's setting the new standard, they say. This is fucked up. What did you play with when you were a kid? Hands down. The most favorite thing, there was two favorite things I had. One, Bionic Man, Steve Austin. You get him, and he comes with the track suit, okay, and the sneakers, okay, and he's got the arm. You push the thing on his back, and the arm lifts the engine block, and he's got like a little piece of computer shit in the arm that you can take out and like do a fake operation. You can actually buy the operator's table. And you put Steve on there, and you're like, "Oh man, we can rebuild him." Fuck yes, man! You put the thing back in there, and then he's got a hole in the back of his head. You look in his head, and the eye is a magnifying glass. You can look in the eye and go, "Oh my God, man, I can see shit so great." It's an awesome toy. Okay, and then there was there's a backpack you can put on him, and the backpack, I just took the packaging and threw it away. And I didn't know that there was these like little wires coming out of the backpack with what looked like roach clips on them. And I could never figure out what those things were. Had I read the packaging, I would have known that there's something to it. And I discovered by accident that you put it comes with a little earpiece. You put the little earpiece with the wire going into the backpack and then the other wire coming out of it with the little roach clip. You touch a piece of metal, you can hear AM radio. What a cool-ass toy, man. I'm sort of going, oh, my God, it's Frank Beckman doing the fucking sports rap. Son of a bitch. It's amazing. And then the Evil Knievel line. Oh, my God. Oh. You get the stunt cycle, the motorcycle, and you put Evil on it, man, and he's holding onto the things, and then he's on there ready to go, and you wind up the thing, and then you turn it a little bit back the other way, and the bike takes off like a bat out of hell. You hit the jumps, and then the commercials. They always had it look so awesome with the dirt track and the kids. It's just everything perfect, and there's a dad there showing him how to do it in it, you know. And I'm like, fuck, man, my dad's not here. Son of a bitch, this is terrible. I start crying. Ma, can you buy this for me? She gets it. All right, grab it. Your dad's not going to be able to help you. He's out there laying pipe, listening to Roger Whittaker records. Oh my God. So I get the Steve fucking Evil, and I do my thing, start crying, no dad. Oh, my God. And then you get the Sky Cycle. That's the thing he tried to jump the canyon on, but he bailed on it. You get the Sky Cycle. Oh, my God. And that thing I think was the one. How did you launch that thing? It either had a hand crank or one of those pieces of plastic you put into it with the teeth, and then you yank it, and then you set it down, and it takes off. But then your brother will take that thing, that piece of plastic, and he's going to chase you around the house and whip you with it. Oh, fuck, man. That'll cut you in a second. All these huge scratches, bleeding, assholes. Oh, good times. Good times. Man. All right, so there you go. Potato Head is Potato Head, I guess. I don't know. It's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. Don't buy one for your kids now because of this. Nobody bought it anyway. Nobody gives a shit on this stupid toy anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's like buying a kid a Sorry game or Operation. Like, oh, fuck, what is this? Get this shit out of my face. Buy me a game. Let me get an app on my phone. Play some games on my phone. That's what I'm going to do. All right, email of the day. Let's see if we got one, because I did not have one on the start of this show. Let me just remind you, when we do have the email of the day is brought to you by Forever Lawn West Michigan. Online at foreverlawn.com/WMI. If I had an email, I would read it to you right now. And it would be by Forever Lawn West Michigan. Nope. I don't have a damn thing for you. If you ever want to give me feedback, reach out, eric@ericzaneshow.com. On the shoreliner striping inbox. Chris says, yeah, my brothers did the same thing to me. Jimmy said, Jimmy's an old guy. He knows, old fucker. I had both of those toys. Yeah, by the way, on last week's Ben and Eric Patreon podcast, Jimmy was stoned to the bone, man. Every joke was landing with Jimmy because he was so fucking stoned. It was hilarious. Jimmy, I'll see you on the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast this weekend. Why'd I say weekend? That's Saturday night on Patreon. 7 p.m. start time for that. Adam says, big Spider-Man with retractable cable coming out of his hand. Had that too. Stretch Armstrong had that too. And the Stretch Armstrong monster had that too. Hell yes. Stretch Armstrong. All of our toys could massively hurt us. Because if you grab Stretch Armstrong or the Green Monster's arm and leg, one arm and one leg, like on his left side, and your friend grabs the arm and the leg on the other side, and you start stretching that fucking thing, first of all, look at O'Neal Twitch. He's having a crazy-ass dream. Look at that leg go. Holy cow. I think he's having a sex dream or something. That's gross. By the way, I see for the first time that Bruce is again sleeping directly on top of O'Neal. That's awesome. If your idiot friend lets go of that arm and leg, you're going to die. Okay? It's going to smash your fucking face in so hard. And it's a big, giant, it's probably 5 pounds hitting you in the face as hard as possible at like 700 or 800 miles an hour. Or sometimes there'll be the toy will lose its structural integrity and it'll rip, and then the thing will go flying at you at the same rate of speed and just crush your face, man. Not good. Okay, man, that's it. Thank you. Nick says you're going to be joining us on the Zoom after the show, after the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. I might have to check that shit out, Nick. It's going to be some drunkenness, to be sure. I won't stay that long because I get really, really tired at night. I know that sounds like a really ugly old man thing to say, but I'm not kidding you. 8:30 is late for me. All right, my friends. Thank you so much. Another great week on the show. Mitchell says, hashtag Team Benny. I'd bring Benny in here, man, but he gets freaked out, dude. Seriously. Till next time, I'll talk to you on the Patreon podcast. Thanks again. Have a good one. Bye-bye.